Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Nianjax calls out Rhea Ripley and her Dom. #shorts keep watching. Rhea Ripley is all set to enter War Games in less than 24 hours at Survivor Series. She will lead her team into battle against Liv Morgan's Heel Squad. However, as she arrived in Vancouver for the premium live event, Ripley sent a message that may not sit well with the Survivor Series crowd. Mommy has been known to not be a fan of Canada as a country ever since her time in the Judgment Day. Whether she actually feels that way or not, Rhea Ripley decided to diss the North American country yet again despite being a babyface. The former women's world champion took to her official Instagram handle to say that the only thing she likes about Canada is the gym lighting. This is a heel move, as she will be performing in front of a rabid Canadian crowd soon. If they see this post on Instagram, Ripley might not be treated like the babyface that she is. Her War Games teammates will likely be more popular at Survivor Series as a result. While Mommy is the captain, every member of her team is a major star. Bianca Belair has already challenged Rhea Ripley's leadership, but the two might just be able to coexist inside the double cage at Survivor Series. While the EST's partner Jade Cargill is out, Belair can put her trust in Naomi. The two have formed an alliance on SmackDown over the past year. Meanwhile, Io Sky and Bayley round out the team. There may be some tension between the former damaged CTR stablemates, so it will be interesting to see how everything plays out. Will Rhea Ripley finally get her hands on Liv Morgan at Survivor Series, War Games? She would certainly hope so. At least Dominic Mysterio won't be there to stop her. As the WWE Universe gears up for the annual tradition of Survivor Series, a thrilling pay-per-view event known for its brutal matches, intense rivalries, and dramatic twists, one of the most talked-about moments in the lead-up to War Games has been a major move from the Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley. Known for her ruthless aggression and sheer dominance in the ring, Ripley's recent actions has shaken the landscape of the WWE Women's Division, cementing her status as one of the top heels in the company today. Rhea Ripley's rise to prominence in WWE has been a steady journey from NXT standout to main roster powerhouse, but her most recent heel turn has truly elevated her to the top of the ladder. Ahead of Survivor Series, War Games, Ripley made a move that not only shocked fans, but also set the stage for a devastating clash of factions that will surely become one of the most talked-about moments in WWE history. Rhea Ripley's trajectory as a performer has always been marked by her physicality, ferocity, and fierce attitude. As a part of the Judgment Day faction, alongside Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, Ripley has thrived in her role as the muscle of the group, imposing her will on opponents with a blend of vicious strikes and submission holds. Her role in the faction was initially met with praise from fans who saw her as a leader in the making, someone who could change the dynamic of women's wrestling forever. Ripley's alliance with Judgment Day seemed natural. Her character had grown increasingly more aggressive, more intimidating, and less concerned with pleasing the crowd. She embraced the dark side, which resonated with the faction's defiance of the status quo. However, it wasn't until the run-up to Survivor Series that Ripley's heel persona would be truly solidified in a way no one could have predicted. Throughout the weeks leading up to Survivor Series, War Games, Ripley and the Judgment Day were embroiled in a bitter feud with some of WWE's most beloved faces. As the build to the multifaceted War Games match began to take shape, Ripley's presence was more than just a physical threat. It was a psychological one. Fans began to sense that something sinister was brewing, something that would ultimately culminate at the event itself. Ripley's heel turn reached its zenith when she delivered a shocking betrayal that no one saw coming. During a pivotal moment in a high-stakes tag team match on Monday Night Raw, Ripley, who had been working alongside her Judgment Day cohorts, turned on a former ally. As the match reached its climax, and with the crowd roaring in anticipation of a potential comeback from her team, Ripley made a decisive move that left everyone speechless. In the middle of a chaotic exchange between the two teams, Ripley, who had been positioned as a stabilizing force for her faction, suddenly delivered a devastating blow to one of her partners. This act was not just a betrayal. It was a declaration of war. Ripley's swift actions sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, as fans realized that this was more than just a strategic play. Ripley was positioning herself as an antagonist, ready to take the reins and lead the charge in a much darker, more personal battle. Her choice to attack one of her own was calculated, sending a message to her allies in Judgment Day that she no longer needed their support, and to the fans that they would not be able to predict her next move. Ripley had officially declared herself as a heel, a villain of the highest order. The fallout was immediate and intense. On social media, fans erupted in fury and excitement, sharing their reactions to the betrayal. Speculation began swirling about Ripley's motivations and how her actions would impact the War Games match. Was she forming a new alliance? Was she going rogue? Or was this just the first step in a much larger, more personal vendetta against her former faction? Only time would tell. As Survivor Series, War Games approached, the ramifications of Ripley's actions took center stage. Her heel turn had sent shockwaves not only through the WWE universe, but also through the fabric of the War Games match itself. The stakes were higher than ever, with Ripley's actions complicating an already volatile situation. War Games, a match that typically features two teams battling in a steel cage with weapons at their disposal, was already a breeding ground for chaos. But Ripley's move had added a new layer of intrigue. With tensions running high between the two factions vying for dominance, it was clear that this would not be a traditional War Games match. Ripley's involvement, especially as a heel, would add a level of unpredictability that could very well tip the balance in favor of her faction, or whoever she chose to ally with. Ripley's actions were a message to everyone involved in the War Games match. No one could trust her, not even her own team. In fact, Ripley's heel turn may have just solidified her as the true wild card of the match. Could she be playing the long game, using her former faction members to further her own personal agenda? Could she be setting up a much larger betrayal, or perhaps looking to recruit new allies to her side? The possibilities were endless, and that uncertainty is exactly what made her actions so captivating. Her heel move wasn't just a betrayal of trust. It was a move that established her as a force to be reckoned with, capable of turning the tide of any match with ruthless efficiency. The prospect of Ripley wreaking havoc inside the War Games structure was enough to send chills down the spine of fans, as they wondered what kind of chaos she would bring to the already volatile environment. Rhea Ripley's heel turn ahead of Survivor Series, War Games marked the beginning of a new era for her character. It was a moment of transformation, an assertion of her dominance in a way that only she could deliver. As one of the most physically imposing women in WWE today, Ripley has always been a threat, but her shift into a full-fledged heel has added a psychological layer to her character. She is no longer just a dominant wrestler. She is a calculating, manipulative force who will stop at nothing to secure her place at the top. Fans now have a new narrative to follow. Will Ripley remain true to her newfound heel persona, or will she continue to evolve into something even darker? Her actions in the War Games match will surely be a focal point of the upcoming event, and her alliances, betrayals, and motivations will keep fans on the edge of their seats. As Survivor Series approaches, one thing is clear. Rhea Ripley has just entered a new chapter in her career, and it's one that will have a lasting impact on the WWE universe for years to come. In the end, Ripley's heel turn was more than just a shocking moment. It was a declaration of war, a promise that she was no longer playing by anyone's rules. As Survivor Series, War Games looms on the horizon, the WWE universe is left to wonder. What will Rhea Ripley do next? And perhaps more importantly, who will be her next victim? Only time will tell.